Weakness, I reckon, is my favourite song on the album for a couple of reasons. One, I remember the process of putting it together with, there's a couple of rehearsals where John and Ollie were late, and so me and Adam would just kind of jam out a bit, and he had this riff, and I remember I started playing a pretty kind of straightforward 4/4 beat to it, and then throwing in some crashy cymbals and some offbeats.
The whole thing is just 3 riffs, and 2 of them are massive, and like some of the most fun things I've ever written.
I first heard Weakness when I was late for rehearsal one night, and I came in and the guys were playing it. And I was looping the down.
Took in the studio, we jammed it quite quickly. John laid down some vocals in the rehearsal studio there and then, and probably within about 2 sessions we had a song.
And I think I just walked up to the mic and just started singing. Got a knife for my weakness, you charm like a snake. Same with some of the other songs, like some of the lyrics are still, like, the first time I opened my mouth when I heard that song and started singing is some of the lyrics that I actually still put on the record. It's like we just had this instantaneous kind of writing session in the moment and it just came out.
It sounds like there's about 3 or 4 guitars at different octaves and levels playing, but actually we just simply used an octave and an octave fuzz pedal in the mix, which weren't mine. We're in the studio and it was Clint's idea, because usually I was just going to play clean through the amp, crank it up, whack the tube screamer on it and go large. We put these octave fuzz effects on it and it just made this massive, massive monumental sound, which is what you hear on the album. It's quite Jack White-ish. It's got that kind of his vibe to it, basically.
He also got pretty creative, so the bass drum beat for Weakness, which is it's a straightforward 4/4 beat, but we recorded that separately. Reason being, Clint had in the kind of one of the cupboards in the studio this huge, it was almost like a marching drum style bass drum. It must have been 26, 28 inches. And he wanted it for Weakness because the song starts just with the bass drum, the hi-hat, the bass guitar and the vocal. So it's how do we make that impact as big as possible? And it was get this big fuck off bass drum in. And he put about 3 or 4 mics on it, and I just sat and played that. And again went into the control room where Clint had been recording it, and he pumped it out the speakers, and it was huge. And I was like, yes, we have to use that.
Another thing about Weakness, which makes it sound incredible, I think, is full credit to Ollie, because the bass line. If you listen, it's so tempting to follow the rest of the band and really go on the accents. He's actually every other, so it's got this bounce in the choruses, which makes everyone fucking sit in that groove. And that's what made us play on top of it so well as well, I think. It just adds that really nice flavour to the song, as opposed to doing the obvious thing.
Recording was a chore though, it was hard work. I remember arguing about tempos quite a lot with that one. I think Adam won the battle on that, on tempos. His riff.
And it's probably the latter half of the song as well is the only time I remember from the recording sessions I'd get basically my hands got tired. And I was like, God, this is hard, because the outro riff, which is quite intense, and it's one of my favourite moments in the whole album. It's quite heavy for us on this album. I was playing it over and over, and I just didn't think my hands were going to work by the end of it, but it kind of like battled through. But you've got that kind of adrenaline going in the studio. You're listening to yourself playing this monumental riff through these big speakers in a soundproof room. You're just having the time of your life. So that's what kind of gets you through it. Definitely full credit to Clint for making that song. Basically what could have been an amazing song, we would have nailed it, would have sounded cool, but he took it to the next level and it sounds unique now, and it just took the best out of those riffs in a big way, and then that laid the foundation for the guys as well to do their bit.
You got a knife for my weakness, you charm like